Yes, now bless now, people. Don't forget the rest now. New World Heat by Fox Lake is the record we're listening to. Kicked off with a very good introduction to this record. Let's see what we got in store. This one's Tough Luck, track 2. Groove Central, eh? I'm gonna be a little critical here, yeah. Full of grooves, great energy, great writing. But one of my things, because I've seen a lot of this, I've not heard a lot of music to this degree of quality within this particular realm, but I've seen, you know, on the first video I said, well, I introduced this and the idea of rap infused metal music with the whole beatdown thing happened over here, or a revitalization of such. People play like European death metal adjacent beatdown music, and there was like a grime infusion to that with a lot of bands, and it was a facade. It was unbelievable, you know, because beatdown hardcore, you gotta be a tough guy, right? And then like street culture, you gotta be a tough guy, right? So it's like, and oddly enough, surprisingly, the people who were creating the music, who had all this to say, clearly were coddled, clearly had no correlation to this day. You know, when you hear half of this stuff, that's why I find this a little questionable. You know, clearly had no correlation to that sort of lifestyle, you know. So like the whole tough guy thing, talking about you being rocked and stuff like this, I take it with a pinch of salt, you know. I take it with a pinch of salt, but it aligns. This is why I said this band would be very popular over here. If this record got put over here, this band would blow up, because it aligns with the mind state and the energy that a lot of this crowd over here receive and project themselves upon, you know. In the comment section, we got people saying, listen to this in the gym and stuff, which, hey, you know what I mean? It pumps you up, gets you gassed up. And funnily enough, there's a band over here called Gassed Up, which I believe originated within the same sort of, you know, protocol. Yeah, I'd never listened to them, but I think that was the case. I think they're still going, and I don't think they do too bad for themselves, to be fair. But yeah, I'm quite familiar with this particular style, and, you know. It is what it is. In one of my first bands, I was in a band with a guy who, he was a great dude. He was a great dude, but he got into hardcore, and he was from a well-off family. He had no problems in the world. And suddenly, like, when he's writing content, it's like about the crew and the gang and all that, and it's like, for fuck's sake. Do you know what I mean? Let's do them things. Come on. These dudes are writing choruses. It's got to be respected. It's got to be respected. Yo, let me, whilst I'm here ranting and raving, let me talk to you about the tough guy bands that actually have some guys who get into trouble. They're even worse! Because they come forth, write a couple of aggressive numbers, and then have to, like, develop a brand based about that and feel like they have to actually prove that. So it's fucking so embarrassing. When you get a band that come by, right, and they've got the crew, and they never, ever, 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 ever get into beefs of any sort with anybody who has any degree of backing or looks to any degree capable of defending themselves. That's the saddest. That's the saddest. That is... There's certain words I would like to use that I can't on this particular platform. But whilst we're here, I'm going at the people who try and be tough and act, and I'm going at the people who are tough. Or put on that persona and therefore need to have a degree of history and backing. It's very rare that these lot will go forth and engage in conflict with those who can fight back. Do you know? It's always some poor metalhead, you know what I mean? Some poor metalhead who stumbled into the wrong event, not necessarily knowing the common courtesy of these sorts of musical, you know, performances, and ends up getting physically harmed. What's going on? That's childish as hell, you know? Grown men should be doing that. There we go. What a groove, what a bop. I'm happy with this. You know what? When we heard about rap metal, when this got introduced to me as rap metal, I thought we'd be going for like, you know, like a Limp Bizkit sort of thing. But this is fine. The front man, you know what I mean, performing in a more rhythmic manner than what you normally get. That's a plus. That's a plus. This has been really good so far. The guitar tones, the production's been really good. Nice big fluffy guitars. We got Freestyle featuring a Void that have a whopping 346k views on this one. Let's keep moving, yeah?